Let me just begin by saying that, this is an important event. I think this is our third year of raising the flag. And it's particularly important today because of some of the violent acts and acts of hate that we've seen throughout the country. And it's important for residents of Pasadena to know that their city rejects hate. In fact, it is an accepting community for people from all walks of life. And so as mayor of Pasadena, let me be clear about that on behalf of my colleagues, and they'll have an opportunity to speak as well. We reject hate. We are a community and a people who embraces people from every walk of life. And that's what today is about. And so we're not just raising a flag, we're sending a message. And it's a clear and direct message that we send today here in the city of Pasadena. So I welcome all of you, and I thank you for coming out and making the time. I'm going to ask Christian Port. Is Christian? Oh, here he is. Christian Port from the San Gabriel Valley LGBTQ Plus Center and Planned Parenthood of Pasadena to come and address us.
Pride Month. Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Pride Month. My name is Christian Port. My pronouns are he, him, and I stand here with you today as Board Vice President of the San Gabriel Valley LGBTQ Center and a leader here at Planned Parenthood Pasadena and San Gabriel Valley. But most importantly, I stand with you here today as an out and proud member of our community, fighting for healthcare, education, and social services that honor and respect the thousands of LGBTQ plus residents that live here, work here, go to school here, love here, raise families here, and yes, retire here. So today marks our annual raising of the Progress Pride flag here at Pasadena City Hall. The Progress Pride flag was designed by artist Daniel Quasar to pay tribute to transgender women of color activists, Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera, who were instrumental leaders of the 1969 riots at the Stonewall Inn, who until recent years had all but nearly vanished from our LGBTQ plus history. And while we're on the subject of history, I think it's so important to acknowledge Pasadena's deep and complex and even unknown LGBTQ plus history, because so often our stories have been erased or excluded or even censored. From the infamous arrest of civil rights activist Bayard Rustin in 1953, to the iconic display of the AIDS quilt here at the Rose Bowl in 1995, to the creation of the Phil Simon HIV and AIDS Clinic founded by Dr. Kimberly Schreiner here at our own Huntington Hospital in 1996. This flag represents our stories, our struggles, how far we've come, and how far we still have to go. We've had more anti-LGBTQ legislation introduced this year alone than ever before in our nation's history. Over 500 pieces of hateful and discriminatory legislation as of today. And last month, we had 2 anti-LGBTQ hate incidents here in Pasadena. A bomb threat to All Saints Church for supporting LGBTQ rights, and the burning of this very same Progress Pride flag at the Pasadena Buddhist Temple alongside a Black Lives Matter flag. Incidents like these are happening all across our communities right now. So you raising this flag here today is an act of resistance to this hate, and you are sending a message to the community that you will continue to respect and honor and care for all of us. And we at the SGV LGBTQ Center are so, so grateful for you for that. Our vision for the San Gabriel Valley LGBTQ Center is a safe and inclusive community for people of all orientations and gender identities, free from all forms of discrimination, grounded in fairness and equality for all. We were founded in 2011 by a small group of community leaders that wanted to bring resources to the San Gabriel Valley after the closure of the Pasadena AIDS Service Center. And today, we're proud to have thousands of supporters, and we're also so proud to host the first ever San Gabriel Valley Pride Tour in partnership with over a dozen cities, including Pasadena. Each city will be hosting their own Pride events, ranging from resource fairs and farmers markets to parades and concerts and even festivals. You can follow us on social media or visit us at sgvlgbtq.org to get all of the latest information. And we hope that you will join us in celebrating and uplifting the more than 100,000 LGBTQ plus people that live here in the San Gabriel Valley. So on behalf of all of us at the San Gabriel Valley LGBTQ Center, we would like to say thank you to Mayor Victor Gordo, City Council, and all of our allies and leaders in the community for gathering us here on this beautiful day to honor Pride Month. With that, it is my pleasure to introduce my partner in crime and our first transgender Latina board president of the San Gabriel Valley LGBTQ Center, Camila Camaleón. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Before we begin, let's take a breath. So if you can just take one breath in and take that breath out. We're here with each other, so let's listen on this end. Today is an empowering moment. We have been fighting for many years, just as some of you have been as well, for equity, for dignity, for safety. The San Gabriel Valley LGBTQ+ Center is an all-volunteer-run organization with the goal of one day having a full-time staff. We are here to celebrate the lives of queer and transgender people across the San Gabriel Valley, and at this event, specifically, the city of Pasadena. By celebrating and protecting each other, we are creating a different world. Today, we are engaging in a dialogue, and it's a necessary one. To provide locally competent programs and hire staff members for this team, it will require people like you. Investments from cities like Pasadena, El Monte, Alhambra, Altadena, Baldwin Park, City of Industry, La Puente, Monterey Park, and departments like the Pasadena Public Health Department, LA County Parks, and Los Angeles County Supervisor Hilda Solis. Our San Gabriel Valley Pride Roundtable was created because council members, mayors, county, and community members across the San Gabriel Valley were willing to take action to create welcoming cities for queer and transgender people, but wanted to build a bridge across the region. We as an organization vow to acknowledge the world we live in and to take a stand wherever it is. The pandemic has intensified and clearly exposed the pervasiveness of violence at the intersections of race, sexuality, gender, and more. Our board of directors is saddened to learn about the uptick of LGBTQ hate incidents and desecration of pride flags at various locations across LA County. The San Gabriel Valley LGBTQ Center wants you to know we are here. We've always been here, and we aren't going anywhere.
Next, I'd like to present the proclamation on behalf of the City Council and together with my colleagues, who I'll introduce in just a moment. The proclamation reads, Pride Month began in June 1969 on the one-year anniversary of the Stonewall Uprising in New York City, after LGBTQ plus persons and their allies rose up to fight against discriminatory laws, which have since been declared unconstitutional. And whereas Pasadena denounces prejudice and unfair discrimination based on age, race, religion, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression, and is a city in which all persons should feel valued, safe, welcomed, respected, and affirmed by their peers and the community. And whereas all are welcome in Pasadena to live, work, and play, and every family in all of its various forms deserves a place to call home where they are safe, happy, and supported by friends and neighbors. And whereas Pasadena appreciates the value and dignity of each person, recognizes the importance of equality and freedom, and acknowledges the positive contributions made by members of the LGBTQ+ community to actively promote principles of equality, acceptance, and love. Now, therefore, I, Victor M. Gordon, Mayor of Pasadena, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby proclaim the month of June 2023 in the City of Pasadena as Pride Month. Good. Thank you. Now I'd like to invite my colleagues. Present with us today are Vice Mayor Felicia Williams, Councilmember Jason Lyon, Councilmember Jessica Rivas, and Councilmember Justin Jones. As we all know, Councilmember Lyon is the first openly LGBTQ+ member of this city council, and so we should honor that and recognize the courage that it takes to do that and be subjected to criticism, be subjected publicly as so many people suffer privately. And so I'd like to welcome to the podium and ask that you give him a big round of applause for his personal courage and for his leadership in the area of equality and civil rights. Councilmember Lyon.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Camila and Christian, for being here. Thank all of you for being here. Before my comments, I want to say the subject of Bayard Rustin came up on Monday night's agenda in the City Council. We have a resolution that involves Bayard Rustin, his role in this city and in the civil rights movement, so I hope you will come out for that and check out the agenda for Monday. The story is well known to a lot of us, and a little bit of it was alluded to here today, but for anyone who might not know, on June 28th, 1969, a group of patrons at the Stonewall Inn in New York City spontaneously decided together to push back against that city's unjust laws and against long-term harassment at the hands of government officials. And in so doing, they gave birth to the modern movement for LGBTQ inclusion. As it happens, June 29th, 1969 was also the occasion of my first birthday. And so I like to think that I was somewhere in a little house in Kentucky where I was born on that day, in between the obligatory pictures of me sticking my hands in chocolate cake and rubbing it on my face, that I saw somewhere on a black and white television set some images of the Stonewall Uprising, and I raised my tiny baby fist in solidarity with Marcia and Sylvia. So if that happened, I don't remember. I know that I lost sight of my community in the 1970s and 1980s. We were virtually invisible, and except for the distorted images of our community that came from the likes of Anita Bryant and from the pastor of my own very conservative Baptist church. And so I knew very little about our community, and what I knew was not good. And that's a hard thing for a little kid. For better or for worse, that all started to change in the 1980s with the HIV epidemic. We had a president who would not name the virus for years, and at some point it occurred to our community that the closet was killing us. And so for the first time in history, we made a choice to be visible. And we marched, and we fought, and we had sit-ins, and we had kiss-ins, and we started to claim our place in institutions, in churches and synagogues, at the boardroom, in city halls. and it changed things. That visibility started to change who we are and how we're received in this country. And people began to realize that we are their sons and daughters and their friends and their neighbors. And that gay agenda you had heard so much about in the 70s and 80s turned out to be not that different from anybody else's. We wanted to get up in the morning and go make a living and drop off the dry cleaning and pick up some milk and try to find a nice place to live and maybe somebody to share a home with. And that's who we are. We are you. It was only 20 years ago, 2003, that the Supreme Court finally ruled in Lawrence versus Texas that states cannot criminalize our love. 20 years ago. And in that time, public opinion and views of us have radically changed because people see us and because people know us. And so, what we're beginning to see now is a movement to try to erase us again. With laws like Don't Say Gay, bans on gender expression, legislatures silencing their trans colleagues, governments overturning the medical standard of care for LGBTQ patients, and now, no less than a Supreme Court justice calling to overturn Lawrence versus Texas. And as we've heard today, here in Pasadena, closer to home, just in the last month, we've had 3 separate hate incidents reflecting anti-gay animus. There is a push to erase us right now. And so, as we gather here today to raise the flag, it is certainly a celebration of our diversity and of the many communities that make up Pasadena, but it is more than that. It is an opportunity for us as a city to say to our LGBTQ neighbors, we see you, we honor you, we value you. In the case of some of us, we are you. And we will never, ever be invisible again. Thank you. Happy Pride Month, everyone.
Thank you. Very, very nice comments, Council Member. Next, I'd like to invite Vice Mayor Williams to give some brief remarks.
Thanks for lowering the mic, Victor. So I'm Vice Mayor Felicia Williams, and it's funny, somebody here asked me how I got involved in the movement, and it was actually through my dad. So my dad doesn't have any kids that are LGBTQ, but my dad, going through the civil rights movement, being able to marry my mom in the only state where it was legal here in California, he understood that discrimination anywhere means discrimination everywhere. If it's not you today, it could be you tomorrow. So we are here to stand up for what's right, to support people being who they are, and to prevent discrimination anywhere. So that's why I'm here. That's why I support this. I really appreciated your comments, Jason. They really meant a lot to me. And if Mike Kinman is anywhere near here or can hear us, we stand with him too and with All Saints. And we're really horrified that this is happening in Pasadena. But we're going to stand up to it and we're going to fight and make sure it doesn't happen again. So thank you for being here and happy Pride Month.
Next, I'd like to invite, and I'm just going to go in order of seniority here, Councilmember Rivas, followed by Councilmember Jones.
I didn't have any planned remarks, but happy Pride Month, and thank you to Councilmember Lyon for the remarks. Thank you.
Thank you to Councilmember Lyon for those remarks. I thought they were sincere, and I enjoy working with you on the City Council every Monday. And I'm just reminded here today of what Pasadena stands for. We stand for love, we stand for equality and equity, and we stand for social justice. And also what we stand against. We stand against hate, we stand against divisiveness, we stand against ignorance in our community. And so I'm happy that we're raising the flag today and we're celebrating Pride Month, but we're going to continue to celebrate Pride all throughout the year. So I appreciate everyone that's here today, and so thank you.
Now, we will proceed to raise the flag. Before we do that, Councilmember Lyon commented that we will adopt a commendation in honor of Baird Rustin this coming Monday, and so I invite all of you to attend. And let me thank Councilmember Lyon for bringing that forward. He is championing this resolution and commendation, and again, providing the leadership that we all know is desperately needed, not just in Pasadena, but throughout the state and throughout the country and the world. And so you are living the dream, so to speak, and you're doing it proudly, courageously, and very effectively. So thank you. So with that, please join us in raising the flag. We used to do it ourselves when we're getting older.